All right. I am live. Can y'all see me? All right. I think I'm here. But I wonder if it'll work if I move them both on the same. Bear with me, y'all. I appreciate your flexibility. I'm getting this together slowly but surely. Every week we get a little bit better. Yes, y'all can see me. Hey, y'all. I'm on the right page this week. How y'all feeling? Come on in. I see you. Like I said, I'm on Facebook and Instagram. I am live for my weekly edition of Get Your Life with Dr. Parsons. Um, so yeah, as y'all roll in, I'm gonna go ahead and just introduce myself. Tell y'all for the newcomers a little bit about me, a little bit about what we do here every week, and then we're gonna go ahead and jump on in. Okay. So again, my name is Dr. Parsons. I'm a psychologist and life coach and the founder and director of Authentically Me. Authentically Me is a space where I give you the tools to uncover your passion so that you can live a more fulfilling life. And I know that sounds good, right? That's what we all here to do, right? We want to live in alignment with our passions. So I like to start off telling y'all a little bit about why I care about this work, why I'm here, why I'm doing this, why I'm so moved to be in the space with you all every week. And this one's a special one. This is work-life balance. And I mean, I don't know how this could be more appropriate for me to give y'all this talk, because I have been working since I was 10 years old. Both of my parents are entrepreneurs, and they started my brother and I off young. And I have been in this game for a minute. And I've also been living life out loud in full color. Anybody who knows me knows I've been, there's just nothing about my life that is dull or boring or worn down. And that's been the way all the way through. I have never burnt out, and I hope that with these strategies and tools I never will. And I'm here to show y'all the way, show y'all how I got here. I mean, like I said, like what brought me into this work to begin with is in my working days, I've always been high achieving. I've always been, reaching for the top tier. And I really had I was in a PhD program living in Denver. I was working at the time. My partner lived there with our daughter together. And, and I talk about this story a lot because it's important for you all to hear the background of me, right? And the things that have shaped me. And one day, my partner was in a car accident, and he passed away. And in that moment, right, where my life shifted so drastically, I just recognized how important it is to live in every second we have, right? Like, it was such an intimate reminder of the brevity of life and how there are some things that in the end don't really matter. And there are some things that aren't worth giving yourself to. And pushing yourself down that pipeline of burnout, let me tell you, is one of those things. And so I'm here to share with you how that has shaped me, how that has reminded me that, this space that we're living in, every moment is life, and we have to give that life everything that we have, because we never know when that moment will be our last. So I'm glad that you're here, glad you're on this journey with me. And this is about work-life balance. I'm going to teach you the ways that I have learned to bring my life together and all those different things that I do. So yeah, let me tell you a little bit about why you should listen to me on this topic. To begin with, I work a full-time job. I am in academia. For any of you who are in academia, you probably know that's really more than a full-time job. I work a part-time job. I run this business, and I am the sole parent of an amazing, extraordinary four-year-old toddler. But here's the beauty of it. And I still travel. I still have time with my friends, and I still, schedule in my adult time too. So like I said, I've been working since I was 10. I've never burned out, and I've always been living, and I'm here to teach you how I've done it. So first, I want to tell you a little bit about Okay, the problem, what we're trying to avoid. We're trying to avoid this place of burning out, this place of not being able to keep going, right? And I've seen it happen where people are like, I'm throwing in the towel, I'm not doing this anymore. Like, and it's full out. I'm packing my stuff, I'm moving outside the state, outside the country, I'm doing something completely different. That's the space of, okay, I've had it, I cannot do this anymore, it's totally over. Or people who, you know, they go through something and it's like we hitting rock bottom. Like that's what burnout looks like. And we're trying to make sure that that's not our path. So here's some warning signs. Here's some things that you need to look out for to make sure that that's not, that you're not walking toward that end point. The first thing you need to pay attention to is like, how are the other areas of your life looking, right? The other areas of your life, are they falling apart? Okay, so somebody's telling me they can't hear me. Can y'all hear me? Somebody tell me if they can hear me. I want to make sure y'all can hear what I'm saying. Tell me, yeah, I can hear you, or no, I can't. Somebody, give me some information. All right, I'm gonna keep talking. Somebody else tell me if they can't hear me, okay? Okay, somebody can hear me. Good. I'm sorry if the connection is bad. Let me know. If everybody can't hear me, I gotta do something different. Okay, so I'm telling you about those warning signs, right? So you have to pay attention to what are your norms in the other areas of your life. When you start to see those things slipping, when you start to say, hey, these are the things that I'm usually able to manage, but they're falling by the wayside, I'm gonna need y'all to stop. Don't just keep going. Because what happens is we try to convince ourselves that like, okay, yeah, I'm juggling and I usually can keep all these balls and I just dropped one, but it's okay, just keep going, just keep moving and it's gonna be all right. Please stop. Please stop and pay attention to those signs around you that you're doing too much or you're doing it at too high of an intensity for you to be able to maintain it, for it to be maintainable. Let me tell you some of the things that I pay attention to for myself. So I wake up every morning and work out in the morning. So when I start just like pressing the snooze one too many times so that I don't actually make it to my morning workout before it's time to start getting ready to go, that's one of my warning signs. Like something's off. There's something that I need to slow down or pull back on or shift or do differently, because this is an area of my life that I'm usually able to maintain, that my body's literally telling me you're too tired to keep doing this. Which means that if I keep on that same path, I'm going to be too tired to keep doing other things, right? And I need to stop it before it gets out of hand. Okay? The other thing that I pay attention to, my warning sign, is like when I start eating out. When it's like been several days and I'm not doing nothing but eating out, that's another sign. Because what that means is I haven't gone grocery shopping, or I've gone grocery shopping, but that food is sitting in the fridge and I haven't cooked anything. Both of those are telling me that, hey, this thing that you're usually able to do regularly is falling by the wayside because of everything that's on your plate right now. Please, y'all, pay attention to these signs. Don't just keep pushing through as if somehow something's going to change and you're going to be able to get back on course. If you don't get yourself back on course, more things are going to fall to the wayside, okay? The second warning sign, the thing that you need to pay attention to, is your stress response. So do you notice that like right before you go to work or the day before you you have to go back to work, that's when you start getting stressed out? When or maybe it's when you're actually in your work environment, like, damn, I'm hella tense when I'm at work, or I'm always real irritable when I'm in this space. But then it shifts when you're outside of that space. That is your body giving you signals that is something that's draining for you. For me, how it shows up is like I'll be at work. If I'm in a time where, something's off with my work context, I'll be exhausted. When I'm at work, I'm like so low energy. And I'm like, man, as soon as I get off, I'm taking a nap. As soon as I get home, I'm about to go lay down. But then you know what happens? When I get off, somehow I have a whole lot of energy. I'm like wide awake again. You know what that means? That's my body telling me this space is not healthy for you. This space is draining you. You need to pay attention to those things. Is that you can't sleep right before you go to work? Is it that, hey, I get real irritable right before I'm at work, or when I'm in work? I'm always edgier. Am I exhausted when I'm in a particular context? That's your cue that, like, hey, if I keep doing this same way, I'm going to burn out. This is your body telling you you have to make some changes. Pay attention. Again, pay attention to the information in the different channels that your body is feeding it to you. Okay? The third thing, yeah, I know. Y'all telling me, like, I do feel this way, right? And you know what we do? We say, oh, I'm noticing this, but for some reason I feel like I'm obligated. I just have to keep going. And what you're going to do is you're going to run yourself down. These are warning signs. That means that it's your chance to do something different. So if you are noticing these patterns in yourself, stay with me, because at the end I'm going to tell you, okay, what do you do differently? But if you are noticing this is your cue. Hey, something's off. Let me shift. Let me make some changes. The third warning sign that I really want y'all to pay attention to is when you stop caring about the things that you used to really care about. Like, you might have started this job, and this is like really, really common in those professions where you are overworked and underpaid, especially with like high moral jobs, right? Where you go in with the best of intentions. Like, I'm coming in with all of my humanitarian heart. And like, now I've gotten to a place where I don't even care about this anymore. Where like, okay, I have just gotten so jaded. This is just the way it is. This whole system is broken. There's nothing that I can do, nothing that I can change about it, right? When you start feeling that level of apathy, that level of like, or I guess not feeling, right? Like, that's your sign, that's your cue. Something has to shift and change about how I'm existing in this world, because otherwise, when you continue on that path, you're ultimately going to burn out. Again, these are your signs. These are your cues that you are getting to the end of your rope. And to think that somehow something magical is going to happen down at the bottom is foolish. The same thing is going to happen. You're just going to read the end. You're just going to reach the end. Okay? And we don't want to get there. We want to catch you before you get to the end. So what I'm going to talk to you about today is what to do differently. How do you make sure, okay, like ding, 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 these red flags are going off for me. These are things that I'm experiencing. What do I need to do differently? How do I need to shift to make sure that I don't get to the end of my rope? Okay? Here's the thing. People they say, okay, the solution to that problem is work-life balance. Create work-life balance and you'll win. It'll be all right. All you got to do is balance yourself across work and home, and it'll be all right. And I know I called this whole episode work-life balance, but I kind of lied to y'all, because here's the thing. Work-life balance doesn't exist. Okay? It's a total misnomer. This idea that balance means I'm going to have this exact same, I'm going to have 12 hours at work, 12 hours at home, and like that's going to be my solution. That's going to work for my life. I don't know anybody who's actually able to maintain that. And the more that you try to force that on yourself, the more you're really just going to drive yourself, even more stressed out trying to reach this unattainable goal. So throw this idea out the window that it's going to be balanced, as in I'm going to actually have equal time across these different spheres. It's not that. What you are shooting for, what you can accomplish, is work-life harmony. And what that means is the different parts of your life are fitting together in a way that works for you. The beauty in work-life harmony is that there are a ton of different ways that you can create harmony. And you are the one deciding, okay, what do I want my harmony to sound like? Or in my life, what do I want my blend of those different important parts of my life to look like? I get to be the narrator of that. I get to be the one that decides what are the different roles that I'm going to hold, and how am I going to show up in those different roles, and what are the different things that are important for me to do in those different roles. Here's the thing, there's a lot of freedom in that, right? With you the one kind of dictating it, but there's also responsibility. There's a responsibility for you to be brutally honest with yourself. You have to be honest about What are those things that are actually important to you for the life that you want? Not the life that your mama told you you had to have. Not the life that whatever social norm, wherever you got that from, told you that you were supposed to have, that you saw somebody else living on TV, or that your neighbor's living, or that your best friend is living. No, we're not trying to live up to other people's standards. You are creating your own harmony, which means you have to ask yourself, what are the things that are important to me? I'll give you a perfect example. I went to a talk a while back where someone was giving advice on work-life balance. And one of the things that she said was that, hey, I noticed that things were off track when I wasn't the one cooking for my children. And it was really, this was the other woman who was running the workshop. She was saying it was really important for her that her children grew up with memories of her recipes and that she was the one, preparing the food for them. And I was sitting in the audience thinking, I don't really care about that. And you have to be honest with yourself to admit, yeah, I care that my daughter and I eat wholesome, healthy, nutritious food, but on the day-to-day, do I personally care that I'm the one who cooks every one of those meals? And I know for me, I do not care. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that person, saying that was something that was important to her. That's totally fine. But I know for me, that saves me a whole lot of time throughout the week that I can give to something else that I do really care about, right? And if I were over here trying to say, okay, well, she said if I have to have balance or have harmony, then I have to be the one at home cooking every night. And I was over here stressing myself out trying to do that. Guess what? Things are going to fall apart. Those things that I do really care about aren't going to get done because I'm over here trying to hold up this image, this facade of what I think I should be doing, how I think I should be living, rather than what I actually want for myself. The same goes for cleaning my house. I mean, as long as my house is clean, I don't really care who cleaned it, right? And again, you have to be honest with yourself. You have to say, okay, what are those things that are important to you in the life that you want to have for yourself? I do this with time with my daughter all the time. My daughter, her school is an hour away, an hour commute both ways. Okay, and for some people it's very important to them that they are doing drop-offs and pickups to school for their kids. For me, that wasn't something that was important to me, and I had to be honest enough with myself to admit I don't actually mind if somebody else picks you up and brings you back home. What something that was very important to me is that I was present at her school events. The times when they have that 11 a.m. Parent show, that I make sure that I'm there, front row, every time. That's something that I really value doing, okay? And again, there's no right or wrong. There's no, okay, well, if this is something that matters to me, it has to matter to you, right? It's just you having the courage to say for yourself, this matters to me and this doesn't. And so I'm going to prioritize those things that matter to me, whether or not anybody else understands that, right? And let me tell you what that's going to require. Once you have that clarity, okay, once you know, okay, this is the life that I want for yourself, then you're going to have to protect your time, okay? Stop just giving it away all willy-nilly as if we have endless time and accepting whatever is thrown at you. Time is precious. Time is a limited commodity, which means if I know this is the life that I want for myself, this is my blend, right? This is my harmony that works, then when anything is coming at me, I'm filtering it through that decision tree, right? I'm saying I'm going to make decisions about where I spend my time based on whether or not it's aligned with the vision of the life I want for myself. It's not, here's the thing, and I'm going to call y'all out, okay? We are not making decisions based on feeling guilty. You're not making decisions based on fear, okay? You are making decisions based off of whether or not doing that thing aligns with the life that you want for yourself. Okay, and that fear one is a big one. We talked last week's episode was about the sneaky ways that fear still comes in and controls our decisions. So if you missed last week's episode, please check it out. I came up with a free worksheet for you all that helps you work through, okay, how is fear still showing up? So if you want to check that out, go on any of my social medias. I'm on Facebook, Authentically Me Live Free, on Instagram too, Authentically Me _Live Free. The links are in the bio, or you can go straight to the website. It's bit.ly, bit.ly/Authentically Me Free Gift. Make sure you check that out. But because I'm telling y'all, fear will have you doing a whole bunch of things that's moving you away from what you really want. So for me, I have two golden questions. When an opportunity comes my way, when somebody says, "Hey, will you do this? Hey, can you add this to your schedule, to your docket?" I'm asking two questions. One, is this important for the life that I want for myself? Okay? Is this important for the life that I want for myself? Two, is this a priority for me right now? That's how I determine whether or not I'm doing something. It's not about, oh my God, I feel so guilty. Oh man, she made me feel so sad. There's no way that, I can do it. These are yes or no questions. That's what's driving my decisions. And I love the slogan that's going around, no is a full sentence. You don't need explanation. You don't need apology. You don't need justification. You need to say no. That's it. No. And you know what comes up a lot? People ask the question, okay, but what about those people who have some level of, supposed power over you? What if they're in a position that you're a boss and they're telling you, hey, you have to work overtime or you're going to get fired? Let me tell y'all the brutal truth. And this is it. Okay? You're going to say no now, or you're going to take steps so that you can say no in the future. Listen to me. This is very serious, because people tell me all the time, okay, well, there are some situations where I can't say no. Let me tell y'all. You are either going to say no now and be willing to take all the consequences that come with that, which may be, oh, I'm losing my job, or oh, I'm losing whatever that person thinks they're holding over my head. And you might be the type of person who's willing or in the space to take that in this moment. If you're not in the space, right now to be willing to do that, then you are going to actively be changing your situation. You're going to be actively changing your situation so that you are going to say no in the near future. Because if you don't, if you just keep yourself there and allow yourself to say, oh, this person has reins, this person has control, and I have to say, yes to them, or else. What you're doing, you're saying that person's demands is worth your life. You're saying the life that you want for yourself, you are willing to sacrifice for this other person's demands. Now, I know that's not true. When you have the true value for your life, you recognize you are going to say no now, or you're going to take the steps necessary to say no soon. Okay? Y'all hear me? Please tell me you hear what I'm saying. Because otherwise, you are giving somebody else, you're not just giving them power, you're telling them that their demands, their requests are worth your life. That you are willing to give your life for the things that they want. Okay? Now, after we got this place, okay, you know the importance of protecting your time. You know the importance of having clarity for yourself about the life that you want and making those decisions based on that. The second tier, right, y'all know I couldn't have this talk, right? I couldn't be out here talking about work-life balance and work-life harmony without creeping in with the self-care talk. Anybody who follows me knows that every Thursday is Self-Care Thursday, and I take care of myself. So I want y'all to as well. So what I advocate for is giving yourself time first. So in that life that you're building for yourself, in the ways that you're trying to figure out, hey, okay, how do I even have enough resources and energy to filter through these different decisions or the things, deciding what's for me and what's not. It's about making sure that you stay charged up. I had a post, driving cross country on an empty tank of gas is a fool's mission. We understand how this works. We plug our phone in every night. You have to charge up to function, right? The same works for ourselves. And it's not just physically. We have to be recharged physically. We have to be recharged mentally, right? However your beliefs are, right? You have to be recharged spiritually, right? So all of those things require you intentionally and explicitly charging yourself. So for me, the way that I do that is I schedule my self-care time. And I respect that appointment with myself in the same way that I would honor any other appointment I have with any other person, because I am just as worthy. So the same way that I don't no-show other people when I have appointments, I don't just not show up. I don't no-show myself. If I have an appointment on my calendar for, hey, this is my time to regroup, this is my time to give to myself, and somebody else is asking, hey, can we schedule an appointment then? I'm sorry, I can't do it, I'm booked. Let me tell you my other availability, okay? Now, of course, right, if something absolutely pressing comes up that's like top priority, your number one goal, dream in life, right? There's some flexibility in that, but here's the thing. You're going to treat it the same way you would any other appointment, which means you're going to reschedule it if you have to. If something else comes up where you that now are going to do something during your self-care time, then you are now going to reschedule your time with yourself. Okay? Because again, you are worthy. In the same way that you're honoring other people in your life, you must honor yourself. Okay? Now, the other thing that comes up when we're talking about, okay, well, how do I maintain this? How do I, do this self-care regularly? There's three areas of resources that tend to make it hard for people. One are finances. The second is time. Remember, I talked about that's the resource. And the third is energy levels, right? Or effort to do something. So, because we know that, we're going to come up with ideas. We're going to come up with a list for yourself of inexpensive things, quick things, so things that don't take a lot of your time, and easy things. Sit down, do the work of coming up. What are those things that recharge you? Because this will be individualized. There are some people who, like for me, one of the things that I actually love doing is organizing. And that could be somebody else's, stressor. That could be like, oh no, I definitely don't want to be doing that. So do it for yourself. Come up with what's going to be your list of things and how are you going to make sure that you do it regularly. What I don't want is for it to be like, I'll get to it when I get to it. Because guess what? You're going to keep pushing it to the backside and you're not going to get to it. What is your system for prioritizing yourself? For me, it's scheduling. Like I said, I literally have an appointment in my calendar and I honor it on a weekly basis. If you don't do any kind of scheduling in your life, find out, okay, how do I make sure, what are the important things in my life that I always get done? And how do I make sure that self-care is a part of that system? Okay? So again, like those keys, right? When we're talking about that work-life harmony, there's three like real key pillars here. That first one, make sure that you are clear on the life that you want for yourself. Okay? Then you're going to filter your decisions through whether or not it's in alignment with that vision. Okay, so that's going to come with that protecting your time, that being willing to say no to other people. And that third part is you're going to keep yourself charged along the way. Okay, let me know what are some things that you think make that hard. Let me know if you have any questions. What are things that I can help you with based on my experience or the things that I've been able to accomplish. Let me know if you have any questions. I see some of y'all jumping in now. I'll have the replay up for you tomorrow so you can watch the full video too. But let me know, what are your questions about how to create that work-life harmony? What can I help you with? And while those questions are coming in, I like to always give y'all let you know what's going on with Authentically Me, what we're building next. I am developing a program right now so that you can learn all of these strategies and more. It's going to be about uncovering your passions and your purpose in life, then creating your own action plan to make sure that you're able to execute it, and then walking you through that process. I'm so glad it was informative. Let me know. Please stick with me. I'm here every Wednesday. I'm glad this was helpful. Let me know if there are any topics that you want to make sure that I touch on in the future. You can join our community. I'm at liveandlovefree.org. I have a free weekly newsletter on any of my social medias. Make sure that you sign up for that, where I write to you weekly about just the ways that I live free and the ways that and the strategies that I use, and hopefully those can do the same for me. Again, follow me on social media. On Facebook, I'm at Authentically Me Live Free. On Instagram, authentically me_live free. And check me out. Let your friends know. Every Wednesday, you can come check in 8 p.m. where you can get your life with Dr. Parsons. I will see you all next week. Love and light.